The fifth proposal in the annual meeting of SoFi shareholders says, approve an amendment to the company's certificate of incorporation to give the board of directors discretionary authority to effect a reverse stock split. Had left a lot of SoFi investors confused.
What is the meaning of this?
In this video, we'll try to shed some light on how this reverse split could affect your SoFi stock options. After all, we have some 2024 leaps ourselves, and we're curious to see how those would get affected. This video is a must watch for anyone who has or is currently thinking about SoFi stock options. Shout out to Option Trader and Shonda Trades from our SoFi private Discord options chat from our Patreon, who gave us the idea of this video. We're not financial advisors, and this is not financial advice, so always do your own due diligence. Losing tens or even hundreds of thousands on your SoFi position is like having a 2022 moment all over again. SoFi proposing the board of directors be given the power to effect a reverse stock split might seem like adding fuel to the fire. In our video, SoFi Stock Reverse Split, we discussed some of the major reasons why companies decide to go through a reverse stock split, like number 1, make SoFi stock more attractive to investors, specifically institutional investors. Number 2, earn the market's trust and leave the negative connotation associated with being under $6 a share. Unlike a stock split, which is usually done when a stock price is skyrocketing, reverse stock splits can happen when the company is on the verge of getting delisted from an exchange, aka when the price is
way too low.
Now, the basic concept here is when a company does a reverse stock split, the total shares it has in the market decreases, and in turn, the price of each share increases. Now, for the million-dollar question, what happens to your options? Basically, it's like a domino effect since options are dependent on the value of the stock. Suppose you have 1,000 shares at $1 per share, and the company does a 1-for-10 reverse split. You'll end up with 1 share for every 10 shares you hold today, but the $1 per share now becomes $10 for each share you hold. Now, if you have an option contract and a reverse stock split happens, you may be thinking, I thought options contracts were in increments of 100 shares of a stock. Does that mean I would have options with only the right to buy and sell 10 shares at a certain price? If you own one $5 call contract and the stock is trading around $1 per share, the 1-for-10 reverse split will mean that instead of having the right to buy or sell 100 shares of a stock at a certain price, you will instead have the right to buy and sell 10 shares of that certain stock. And here's the catch, everything else follows, including the strike price. So if you woke up and decided to exercise your contract, you just get 10 shares instead of 100. But what about your precious option premiums? What will happen to the premiums? According to Fidelity.com, the holder of an option contract will represent a reduced number of shares based on the reverse stock split value with an increase in strike price. So let's say you hold 100 shares with a premium of $1 each share, and then a 1-for-10 happens. So now your shares will only be reduced to $10. But what about your premium? Will it stay at $1 per share?
I'm glad you asked.
Since a reverse stock split increases the share price, it will only be fair that the premiums will also be adjusted accordingly. And in these cases, instead of having a $1 premium for every share held, you'll get a $10 premium per share since the split is 1-for-10. The SoFi 2022 annual meeting of stockholders will be held on July 12th, 2022. Whether or not SoFi shareholders approve giving its board of directors the authority to effect a reverse stock split is still up in the air. But in the scenario that the shareholders approve this, the underlying question would be, when will they authorize the reverse stock split? In their SEC filing, SoFi states, even if our stockholders approve the reverse split proposal, we reserve the right not to effect the reverse stock split and authorize share reduction if our board of directors does not deem it to be in the best interest of the company and our stockholders. And according to them, effecting a reverse stock split will be based on a number of factors, including but not limited to prevailing market conditions, existing and expected trading prices for our common stock, and actual or forecasted results of operations and the likely effect of such results on the market price of our common stock. If the board of directors are given the power to authorize a reverse stock split, they'll have that power for 12 months after the 2022 annual meeting date. There's a chance that SoFi's board members won't issue the reverse stock split because it would need to make sense for SoFi overall as a company within that 12-month period. To sum it up, if a reverse stock split happens, everything will adjust. The number of your shares, the price of your shares, and the premiums on your options, and they are solely dependent on the exact ratio of the reverse stock split. Shout out to Option Trader and Shonda again from our private options Discord, who gave us the idea for this video. By the way, for those of you who have been asking, our Discord and Patreon will now be open from June 1st to June 5th. Once it's closed, we don't know when we'll open it back up. If you haven't already, follow us on our social media pages at Wealth Gambit. The link will be in the description box below. And also a special shout out to everyone currently in our Patreon community. You guys truly help to make these videos possible, and we all really appreciate the support. Shout out to Arthur Magazu, Wade Chu, Pietro Serra, Daniel Corbett, Mr. Welfare, Casey Patel, Jeff Sherman, Gregory Villar, Bo Park, Denzel, Shonda, Reginald David, Les Broadway, Christian Cardelphi, Kevin Beaufrand, and Jay Bone. We're trying to hit 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month, and we're currently at 3,902. If you've gotten any value from this video, consider subscribing. Thanks for watching. We greatly appreciate it, and until next time, peace.